Okay, this is case study 03, basis of reimbursement. We are group 4. My name is Asana Tapabalu.
I'm Sharita Lane.
I'm Christopher Lealy.
So for part A of this case study, the school district uses the same general contractor, subs, architects, and subconsultants from project to project, and they all have a good relationship with one another. It's state law to competitively bid these contracts out, but the same general contractor is always the lowest bidder, which is what the school district uses. After about 10 projects, their success is audited by an outside consultant, and they find that the client carried 15% contingency after the bids were received. So 5 to 10% is the average contingency percentage. So 15% is not super unreasonable or out of the ordinary. But since 100% of the plans and specifications were completed, they probably could have gone down to 5 to 10%. At the end of the project, there was no contingency left, so which means that they used all of it, and contingency is used to cover extra costs throughout the project. So there could have been possible design malfunctions, supplier issues, or inaccurate estimates, or a wide variety of other things that could have happened. So as for the taxpayers and competing contractors and designers, and if they were treated fairly, I do think they were, as for the taxpayers, 15% contingency is not unusual, like I said, but they could have gone down to 5 to 10% with the completed designs. For the competing contractors and designers, I feel like it's really dependent on what the school district uses for their project delivery method. And what it seems like is they use low bid. So if the contractors that they have been using this whole time are consistently the lowest bidder, then they don't really have any other options unless they change their project delivery method. And as for the designers, even though they completed all of their work, the entire 15% contingency was still used, which means that there were some issues that probably occurred. And the ultimate goal for a project ideally is for it to be completed with no claims made against the contractor, architects, or the client, which is a school district, and they were able to get through all of these projects with no claims made between one another. So that seems like they have a really good relationship.
So for part B, what you need to know is that the competition for projects has caused design fees to be lowered. The same school district from part A asked their auditor to review their architect's fees and see if additional fees will result in better documents. The state law determines that the architect fees is approximately 7% and is not negotiable by either party. The law, however, does not discuss limits to change orders.
So the problems is that the auditor discovered fee of almost 10% due to design service change orders upon project completion, and they were paid additional design fees to remedy discrepant documents. So the questions were, was this fair? We don't think it's fair because if the architect is producing not so great quality construction documents, then that shouldn't be a reason to upcharge the client for better documents. The other question was, is everybody better off by just letting this issue pass? Probably the architecture will be better off, but probably most likely not the client, because he'll keep paying that 3% with as more and more projects they work together on. How should design fees or designer selection be made on public projects? As stated, it should be bid. It should be a bid process, but um, you should always choose like based on quality work and uh, like the resume of the designer uh, for better results. Um, how are they made for private projects? It's really up to the client, whatever he wants, because it's all based upon the project delivery that he wants. Do you feel that the lower design fee relate directly to poor quality design? I say no, because there can be an architect that is starting off and he has no reputation around the market and around like the place that he's working at. So that's probably why he's charging less, but he probably like he can have great quality work. He's just not really known. Do you feel that? Oh, do you feel that the can this substantiated? Can this be substantiated one way or another through research? I say yes, through like a handful of um like it can be researched through like a survey. And yeah.
So in conclusion, for part A, I believe that the contingency was normal and it was ultimately used up all the way throughout the project. And as for the competing contractors and designers, it's really dependent on the project delivery method that the school district decides to use.
And the conclusion for part B, the client should not let the issue pass, and the construction documents are not accurate enough, leading to multiple change orders. And that's it. Thank you for watching this presentation.